In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how I beat the Rakshasa Baal fights on 0 stars. Now, the setup I'm about to demonstrate isn't optimal and it isn't minimal either. There's almost certainly better ways for doing this. The way I'm about to do it can certainly be improved. And there's almost certainly ways of doing this with a lot less preparation. With one exception, I'm about to massively overkill everything. But this is just the setup I used, well, a slightly refined version setup I used when I first did this. I'll demonstrate the fight first and explain a few things as I go, and then I'll go into more detail on the setups afterwards. Okay, let's get into the fights. Well, first of the few fights. Fight 1. This fight has 4 phases. It's a bit like the Rakshasa Baal fight in Disgaea 6, where you defeat one phase and move on to the next one, except it doesn't reset the turn. Any actions you've used up remain used up for the rest of the turn. Also, all the phases in this are themed around the cardinal beasts, while they go by various other names. So this is the North form, based on Genbu. It'll destroy the base planet at the end of the turn, so you need to make sure I win in one turn. Can only take 10% damage at a time, so I have to hit it at least 10 times. One of the annoying bits, it'll hit me 5 times when I leave the base panel. When I beat it, it moves on to the next phase. All of them have these abilities that actually don't do what they claim. These are actually stronger versions of these two abilities that are exclusive to the Rak Baal fights. This is actually a 10% damage increase per star and a 3% damage reduction per star. Otherwise, all these phases have some kind of elemental gimmick. This phase is immune to water and does various water-based things. Each of them does a different element. So let's Just gonna have Al and the Mecha Girl ready to attack, and Suzaku for accuracy and crit rate. Got Isalia's Infernal Treasure for her Hell mode on the Maiko to automatically fill other people's Hell modes. Higan comes off to one side. Forming a tower with everyone for later purposes. Al has Higan's Hell mode so she can attack 3 times per turn. Mecha Girl has Girl the Hull's Hell mode so that her normal attack functions basically like full strike, hitting a giant cone right the way across the map. Not needed yet, but it'll be used later. I have support attack so that after our attacks a bunch, the Mecha Girl will also attack a bunch. Phase 1 done. West phase based on Byakko. This one can't take damage from normal attacks, but otherwise that's fine, not really an issue. Wind based. To point out, if Val ever jumbos, game over, and they all have the same Infernal Treasure. Their Hell mode gives them 100% attack and defense power. Only one of these phases will even take a turn. Has 25% resistance to star because it's lowest resistance, but it's still 1-0. So anything elemental's kinda bad, but just for simplicity I'm killing it with Terra Star. Next phase, and this is a really annoying one. Can only be damaged by jumbo attacks. Has corpse, so it comes back to life once at 20% HP, combined with this. So even if I can hit it multiple times, it will immediately cancel those additional hits and stop my attacker from attacking for the rest of the turn. So because of the revive, it's going to take 2 attackers to kill this in one turn, and those attackers are useless for the rest of the turn. This one, by the way, is also fire themed. It being immune to fire doesn't do anything actually, because it only takes damage from jumbo attacks, and jumbo attacks negate elements. Actually, one other thing I forgot to point out. takes half damage from physical attacks, so ideally you want your Genbu attacks to count as magical, which you do by using a staff or int-monster weapon. The exact workings of that are a bit different in this game compared to, say, Disgaea 5. So Higan and Ao are going to Jumbo. Suisen hops on the tower to support Ao. War Lady is just in position for future phases, or the final phase. So Higan isn't strong enough to kill the Baal, but all she has to do is re-kill it at 20% HP, so that's more than sufficient. But Higan now can't attack for the rest of the turn, and Ao can't either. And so we get onto the East or Seiryuu phase. So this can only take damage once per turn. This is an annoying effect. Automatically combo fires after 3 turns, giving you a game over. This is the phase I'll actually be allowing to take a turn, but I'll be winning on turn 2. All its allies are basically meat shields. I have to kill its allies before I can kill it. And that, in combination with taking damage once per turn, is annoying. But on top of that, I can't crit it, so a lot of my damage just vanishes. Oh, and yeah, this claims to have SO Dignity twice. Yeah, no it doesn't. Well, actually 3 times if you include that one. Copy-paste errors. As of making this video, the complete content is full of copy-paste errors. So this is actually kill with star, reduces my star resistance. This is actually star bless. Sorry, not star. This is star management, blocks star damage. Those don't normally exist, don't exist in this fight, so they had to add them newly for complete, and just about everything newly added for complete that isn't on Asagi for some reason is just a copy-pasted name and description from something else. Oh, whoever lands the killing blow on this gains a new common ability and 6 extra common ability slots. Can wipe out its allies. I'll deal with it next turn. What I'm going to do is just put my tower away. Higan actually acts as bait here. I end the turn. It tries to attack Higan. Okay, Higan's gone, but so be it. She's done her job. We build the tower. Now finishes the job, and this is the only time in the tower fight I'm actually going to be cutting it remotely close. Everything else is being tremendously overkilled, but when I can't crit, and so none of my crit damage boosts work either, that really eats away at my damage. Okay, fight 1, done, and that's the hard part. If you can beat fight 1, just repeat what you did in the final phase to beat fight 2. So this has a whole load of unique abilities, basic combination ones from the previous fights. So destroy the base panel under the turn, so 1 in 1 turn. It'll attack me as I come out of the base panel. I mean, it does a lot of stuff, but some of the middle ones, it does the you hit it, you can't attack for us to turn thing, which is one of the more annoying ones, but Genbu fires after 3 turns, allies will guard it. Still has the same problem of those are actually stronger versions of the abilities, those don't do what they say. It's actually missing a lot of the other stuff, so it doesn't block any elements, it isn't immune to normal attacks, it isn't immune to everything except Genbu attacks, it's not immune to crits, it doesn't only take 10% damage per hit. You know, other than the fact I can only attack it once with each person, and the fact it uses its allies as meat shields, there's nothing stopping me from damaging this, and that just makes the fight so much easier. Out again. Now is going to hell mode just because it gives a damage boost. I don't even need it, but I may as well just overkill even harder. Isalia's hell mode on the Maiko again. Hell mode on the Mecha Girl, so her normal attack effectively becomes full strike. Higan can join the tower this time. Wipe all its allies. Wipe the ball itself. This one, whoever lands the killing blow gets a unique ability slot and a new unique ability. I'll show this off in a minute. Yeah. If you can beat final phase of Fight 1, Fight 2's a joke. I like the theming in Fight 1, like Fight 1's quite interesting. So, yeah, actually unique ability slot from Fight 2 gives this. Oh, why does it say SO Seal? Copy-paste errors. What this actually does is grants immunity to state effects and stat reductions, which is very nice. Also, for 6 common ability slots, if you hadn't guessed, this is going to use 6 common ability slots. This is not SO Seal. I mean, SO Seal is 1 slot. Why would there be another SO Seal for 6 slots? Copy-paste errors. This actually increases HP by 300%, but reduces your movement by 10. It's an interesting ability. Probably less interesting than the unique one, or at least probably less practical. So, okay, to explain some stuff about this, Wickedhancement. I've got this active, the HP defense resistance up 1. Main things to note is that it nullifies 1 hit and allows you to survive at 1 HP once, so that handles a couple of the base battle hits. Otherwise, everyone has Corpse from Zombie Maiden, because actually one of the Baal phases has this. You revive once. Still Standing, 5-star male Armor Knight, survive at 1 HP once, and EM Barrier from Piradica, block 1 hit. Between all those, it allows me to actually enter the fight alive. All support units have Lovely Song from Sea Angel to give a stat boost, Curse Dance from Sorcerer to boost, increase the damage taken by enemies. Technical Guidance from Ieyasu to increase ally attack power. Merciless Command from Opener to further increase ally attack power at the cost of damaging at the end of the turn. Noble Cause also from Opener to increase ally stats. Magnificent Clear from 4-star in Maiko to increase male ally attack power. My attackers are female, but there's a way around that. Cloak maneuvers are not really using here properly. That's from 2-star in Felon. That's just because I was using this on a different setup. Boost power during the team attacks. If I had a way of guaranteeing team attacks, it would do something a bit more useful. Still Standing mentioned. Ian Barrier mentioned. Yasu himself boosting ally stats is useful. Piralika's not doing anything, like Piralika herself is not being used for anything specific here. Fushi is, well, other than boosting Owl, which I'll get to, doesn't do anything specific. Likewise not doing anything specific, but useful to have in general, just because an extra hit is usually useful, just not for this particular setup. Likewise, an entire extra action is usually useful, but not used in this setup. C4's not doing anything specific. Suisen is guaranteeing hits and guaranteeing crits, except for Higan, because Higan wasn't next to Suisen. Support units all just have vernier thrusters for movement. Attackers So, Mecha Girl not doing anything. So, her Jumbility is useful in some setups, but not being used here. I'm not even Jumbifying her. Jump before using Girl the Hull's Infernal Treasure, which is basically turning her normal attack into full strike, which is kind of the point of having a War Lady built. War Lady is the final rank of Mecha Girl, but she's not doing anything. You know, her class is not being specifically useful in this fight. Panel Blaster is her own unique ability. The more stuff she hits, the more damage she deals, which is, I mean, it's nice when I'm killing all the mobs, but the all the fodder dies really easily anyway. So this is my only unit that's actually done all the Super Overlord fights to get the unique abilities from all the DLC units. So she's got this from Zed, which is increasing damage dealt per reincarnation, and because of some of the complete content, she's reincarnated a lot. Corpse, mentioned before, support attack is from Archo, so she's following up other people's attacks with her own attacks. Still standing, Ian Barrier already mentioned. Gender Bender, I need her to count as male for some of the abilities, so we've got that. And that is from the Evility Scholars Squad. Full Power Swing is 1 star in Orc. Reduces accuracy but increases crit damage. Suicide fixes accuracy issues. And crit damage boost is nice, except for the final phase because of the first fight, because the final phase of the first fight can't be crit. Critical damage boosts cap at 100%, I believe. So I actually end up, but with the equipment I'll show off later, this is actually overkill. The Emotional Leader is exclusive to complete, and this is from Asagi. The description's a bit confusing, or even misleading. It's actually a 5% attack power boost per ally in the same squad. Well, I mean per member in the same squad. So we've got 20 members in this squad, and as a result, she's getting 19 boosts there for 95% boost. This is very powerful for 3 slots, but is limited by squads. 3 Laws is from Mecha Girl herself at 2 stars. Stops her attacks killing her own allies. This is just to stop her from killing Higan in this case. Charm Vaccine is in the shop by default. Some of the enemies have abilities that will have a chance of charming you if you hit them. So just prevent that. Unstable Power, massive stat boost on turn 1, and only 1 unit is really doing anything past turn 1. Ultimate Overlord tier Gacha for this. Mana Blade is from Magic Knight, 2 stars. Add half your int to your attack power when attacking with a sword. All she's doing in this is attacking normally, and we have a sword. This isn't quite as broken as it was in Disgaea 6, where it actually works on everything, but I'm using normal attacks in this setup, so it works here just fine. Deadly Footwear, 1 star in Myco, is a fairly simple damage dealt boost at the cost of some movement. Usually, it's solid filler. Higan has the lowest stats of my attackers, so she's got the most stat boosts. So damage reduction from monsters isn't really coming into play here, but there's a chance she actually ends up surviving their Baal attack on the 4th phase because of it, but in this case she didn't. This isn't coming into it here really. Panel Blaster already mentioned is from Mecha Girl. Assault Tech is from Valkyrie, further she moves the more damage she deals. If you use her Hell mode to act 3 times, this actually resets on each action, so you have to move far on each action. Corpse already mentioned, EM Barrier still standing already mentioned, Civil Power already mentioned, Convert Force is more stat boost, but well, as in it's another 25%, but reduces resistances to minus 50%, which I don't care about my resistances in this fight. This is from the same place as Unstable Power. It's Ultimate Overlord tier Gacha. Long range is 2 stars in Rifle Demon. The further away the target is, the more damage you deal. She's hitting enemies in the middle of the map from the edge of the map, so they're really far away. Aggression is from Evility Scholars. Massive attack power boost when attacking normally, and what she's doing is attacking normally. Rear attack, I don't have Suicide next to her, so she needs another way of getting the accuracy. This is from 4 stars in Ranger. Back attacks will automatically hit. Gender Bender, mentioned before, need to counter as male for some abilities. Ensure Victory is 1 star in Male Samurai. Massive attack power boost on turn 1, and Hour's the only unit even attacking on turn 2. So this is fairly potent. And Fetters is from Dragon, 4 stars. Hefty stat boost, but can only normal attack, but Gumbo attacks count. Then Owl. Hefty attack power boost, loses some defense power, but doesn't matter for this. More stats when Fuji's around, so that's the purpose of having Fuji for a support unit here. Rising Dragon is from Dragon. 10% attack power boost per hit received. I'm only receiving the 5 hits, so I'm not even maxing this, but 50% is still good enough for the purposes of this fight. Salt attack mentioned before, Corpse mentioned before, still standing, EM barrier. So Smoke Bomb is so that on the first phase setup he's not getting counter-attacked, and it's 3 stars in Ninja. Ensure Victory, already mentioned. Hell Unleashed from Fuji, more damage in Hell mode. Full Power Swing, already mentioned. Long Range mentioned. Gender Bender mentioned. Stats wise, 2 of my attackers have got max complete base stats and extracts and Seal of Power, because Owl does as well. Though she hasn't got maxed HP and SP extracts according to the new caps. Higan, I haven't finished yet, so she's got the old base stat caps. I haven't even done her HP and SP, but she's got the new extract caps otherwise. I haven't done Seal of Power at all. That's why her stats are the lowest of any of them. Attackers all have a bunch of dupes of this, which I'm still working on, haven't actually finished yet. Baal's body is terrible for this, by the way. Normal attacks becoming Star Element. One phase is immune to Star and all the rest resist it. So this is actually terrible, but I was working on Baal's body before this, before complete version was even released, so I stuck with Baal's body. I've got a very generic setup where it doesn't really care much what I'm using it with. Assassinate, more damage to humanoid units, not particularly helpful in this fight because the main boss Baal's a monster. All out hit is more crit damage. I got this on 3 pieces of equipment for 45%. With a 75% from an ability, this is actually overkill, but whatever. One button splitter, so more damage, less accuracy. Doesn't matter, like, it's just 3 damage if you don't mind being tied to Suisen, but it is a bit restrictive tying yourself to Suisen like that. Diggy Dig is more damage from behind, which in this fight was only benefiting Higan. Attacker and Sturdy are just generic attack power and damage increases, and Swing About is actually one of the more sought after properties. It's an extra hit on normal attacks, so your normal attacks hit potentially 3 extra times for 4 total. That's why I was able to do so many attacks and support attacks on the first phase. Owl was able to attack 4 times, and War Lady is able to support attack 4 times per support attack. The setup is not ideal, because I'm expecting to be using a sword most of the time. Some of this shit could be changed out for stuff that's an even bigger boost for swords, but I sort of wanted to make this really generic, and so that's just what I settled on. Owl's got staff just so that her jumbo attacks get treated as magical. Likewise, Higan. support units, yeah, just have vernier thrusters. Most of these units I'm not making use of their hell modes, so there's a lot of extra stuff I could have done. So I mean, for example, support units could have had this to increase everyone's attack power, or I could have increased everyone's stats. Higan could have made use of this to ignore defense, or could have used this for the accuracy, or this for the crit rate. So there's a lot of stuff I could have done differently. Higan's own Gumbo wasn't really being used here. If I Gumboed her too early, if I Gumboed her before I did the second phase, I'd actually stop myself being able to do the second phase with spells. So there's a bunch of things I didn't take advantage of in terms of DLC units, either the units themselves or the unique abilities through the Super Overlord fights. So I didn't make use of plein air increasing ally stats, or Rosalind increasing attack power of male allies, since I usually can't just male anyway. I'll get back to that in a sec. Or Martina boosting the stats of males. I could have put Zed's unique ability on more attackers for bunker damage. Byakko could have increased damage dealt and enemy damage taken. Let's get back to Disgaea a second. I also didn't take advantage of Fearsome Wansome to reduce the Baal's weapon resistances that would have allowed me to deal more damage. So there's a lot of extra stuff I could have taken advantage of and didn't. Also didn't take advantage of Melodia for more damage dealt by male allies, or as another source of giving units extra actions. Something I also didn't take advantage of and could have is professors with Paradigm Shift can reverse healing and damage, so I could have. So if someone can survive a drug map once, I can have them healed by the base panel hits, and doing that could have allowed them to take more base panel hits to boost Rising Dragon further. Or if I'd actually Jumboed a dragon, made use of this Jumbility that if you take enough hits will just make you hit the attack power cap. So that's a big thing I didn't take advantage of. Also, there are some setups you can do on these fights, particularly the second fight and final phase of the first fight, where you use Ieyasu's Hell mode to control enemies, to either throw themselves in together to combine them together, or do other shenanigans. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't take advantage of here, but could have. Also, quickly show off. I've got Al and Higan in Jumbificationers squad, mainly just so I can jumpify more units, but it also makes the meter grow faster and increases their stats more. So other than the 20-member squad for the Mecha Girl, that's the other big squad-weighted thing. So yeah, there's a lot more I could have taken advantage of, and that could have allowed me to really cut down on what was required to do the fight. But anyway, that's how I did the fight. I hope this was entertaining and potentially informative for you, and thank you very much for watching.